Welcome to Treehouse Bakery. In this video, I'm going to walk you through my plant-based brownie recipe with both regular wheat flour and a gluten-free cassava alternative. I've made this brownie recipe thousands of times and I know it is really good, but I'm testing this gluten-free flour for the first time, so I have no idea how it's going to turn out in the end. I'm Stephanie, that's me in the polka dots. Let's get started. First step is to preheat the oven to 160 degrees Celsius and line a baking tin. I'm lining 2 tins because I'm baking 2 different brownies at the same time. These are different shapes and slightly different sizes, but both are fine. And I wanted to show you that whatever tin you have around, it'll work out. It doesn't have to be the perfect size. I just line the bottom with reusable baking paper and brush the sides with a little veg oil. Next up, combine the flax with 100 ml of water and leave it to gel up. Obviously, I'm doing 2 of everything as I'm testing a new recipe against the original. I'm just going to split the kitchen in half now, and the right side of the screen is going to be the gluten-free test zone and the left side of the screen is going to be my original recipe, which should work out perfectly because I've made it 1,000 times. In a heat-proof bowl, add baking spread, brown sugar, caster sugar, and chocolate. Set this over a pan of simmering water. Stir it every now and then until it's melted. You could melt this in the microwave if you prefer. I don't have a microwave and I've never tested it that way, so if it goes tits up, that's on you. But as a general rule, don't put chocolate in the microwave for more than 30 seconds at a time and stir it after every burst just to make sure it doesn't burn. Once that's melted, you can remove it from the heat and add the flax egg, now jellified, and stir that in. Included in your box you'll have a dry mix, which is a combination of flour and cocoa powder. It's pre-mixed for your convenience. You shouldn't really add it all at once. We'll add it, let's say, a third at a time, stirring it in fully. It's just going to help you make sure it's mixed properly without any thicker lumps of batter that can cause uneven baking. Also, it prevents overmixing. So adding 1/3 at a time, stirring well after each addition, you should end up with a thick, sticky batter that looks like this. Yum. Now just pour it into the prepared tins, scraping down the side of the bowl just to make sure you don't miss any of that goodness. Next, take a moment to freak out about getting chocolate on your brand new blouse, which you're wearing for the first time today and is hand wash only. Crisis averted. Okay, so I wanted to do 2 flavors in the one tin, which is usually very easily achievable by just dividing the tin with a bit folded up tin foil. But I forgot to check beforehand and only just realized I don't have any foil, so I'm trying to divide the tin with reusable parchment, which frankly doesn't work great, or at all. It doesn't work. Don't try this at home. Ignore this step. But I've still gone for it. So half of each of these brownies is going to be raspberry and white chocolate and the other half just the plain original recipe. So I'm stirring in freeze-dried raspberries first, then white chocolate discs. These brownies bake at 160 for about 30 minutes. I don't know how long the gluten-free ones will take though, so I'm going to check them at 20 minutes. Even though I expect they'll actually take longer than the originals. You'll know your brownie is done when the edges are fully set. There's a shiny paper-like film on the top and the middle just wobbles very gently. If in doubt, I always err on the side of undercooked because 1, I don't really mind a puddle of a brownie, and 2, it's going to continue to cook and set up as it cools in the tin. In the end, the original recipe baked for 35 minutes and the gluten-free version baked for 45 minutes, but honestly it probably could have gone for another 10 to 15 minutes. You're going to want to let your brownie cool completely before you attempt to turn it out. I know this can be a challenge when they are fresh out of the oven and smell really, really good. But trust me, you want these bad boys to be stone cold before you try to cut them. So just grab a cuppa and breathe the smell in and be patient. Okay, maybe a little nibble at the edge, but that's it. Right, they're totally cool now, and I've turned them out onto cutting boards. First I'm cutting the gluten-free one, the plain flavour, although plain sounds a bit rubbish for a brownie that's actually really good. You know what I mean. And this is the original recipe with the plain wheat flour. It's a lot less gooey, holding together much better. Looks great inside actually. Next I'll cut the gluten-free raspberry flavour. It's very, very gooey in the middle, and it looks like all the white chocolate has melted. And finally the wheat full raspberry flavour, which looks perfect, as expected. So there you have 4 different brownies. I'm going to drizzle the raspberry brownies pretty generously with white chocolate, and then sprinkle freeze-dried raspberries over the top. Right, looks good. I'm going to cut and decorate the rest of the batch now. So these ones over here are the gluten-free ones, and these ones over here are the originals. Let's get to tasting them. I'm going to start with the original plain flavour. As expected, it's delicious. There's a crispy top and a slight crumb at the bottom, and the middle is nice and fudgy / gooey. It's a really great brownie. Next I'll try the gluten-free plain one. It's a much wetter texture. It's not holding together super well, but it's still got the crisp top, and it is very delicious. Maybe just a little undercooked. Let's try the original raspberry flavour. It's the perfect brownie. Texture is perfect, flavour is rich, and a delightful zing of raspberry. I can't fault it. Finally, it's the gluten-free raspberry flavoured brownie. This is goo. I said already I don't really mind a puddle of a brownie, and this is pretty close to a puddle. I mean, it's delicious, but you definitely couldn't pick this up in your hand. If I make these again, I definitely bake them longer. But you know what? It's still really yummy, and I'm still gonna eat it. It's not like it has raw eggs or anything. Why don't you just take a closer look at the texture of each of these brownies while I read you out. Thanks so much for watching, and please give this video a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments if you make Treehouse Bakery brownies and how they work out for you. Sign up for 11sies, my monthly newsletter, so that you can be the first to know when I launch the gluten-free brownie baking kit. Just head to the link in the description to sign up. And of course, subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss any of my new videos. See you next time with a brand new original recipe. While you wait, why don't you check out one of my previous videos that you may have missed, like this one where I make an original recipe for my favorite sticky cinnamon rolls, or this one where I compare vegan chocolate chip cookies to the other kind of chocolate chip cookies. I'll be back in 2 weeks. Until then, happy baking!